Look at me. Look at me. Look at me ballin'. Hit my brain up. Look at me ballin'. Got me famous.
right, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get everything rolling here. Okay. Got here. All right, let's jump right into our first thing, and that is taking a look at our key levels for the session. Oh, let's get this going here. Okay. All right, so we got our 15-minute chart up right now. Let's take a look. All right, so current key levels that we need to be paying attention to today. 1-day max, we're at 29,885. We're approaching that. And then 1-day min, way down 926s. This is actually pretty much where yesterday's low came in. And obviously, we've been in this upward grind this entire time. Give me 1 second, guys. My charts are looks like locked here real quick. Let me fix that really quick. Give me 1 second. I believe it's this one. Okay, let's see if we get that handled there. Okay, should be good here. Let me just refresh. I should be able to see my screen. 1 second here. Okay. So we're going to do this step by step as we go into each part of the equation here. So first thing I want to take a look at, let's just jump to the hourly chart first. And so this is yesterday. We are approaching the Tuesday's value area. Actually, we were actually right there at 705s. Major quarter level here, 750. So if we are able to accept above overnight high 750, maybe we get that move up to 30,000. If we end up failing this area here, so I'll be watching this zone here. We can already see that we've already reclaimed the structure from I think this is Tuesday. So Tuesday's structure, actually yesterday's structure, where we sold off. We've reclaimed that level now, right? So now this has become a bullish rotation. And so the main question is, are we going to basically be rotating here above the zone here, above 500s, and then we push right back down and we form a range? Or are we going to be holding this trend and we continue to see this channel continue to take price higher, and then we get a retest or move back to 30,000s where this entire down move started, right? So structurally, we can see that we've been selling off. And then currently overnight, we are above prior value. So this is kind of that zone right here that we want to be paying attention to. And so coming into the open, obviously we can see the basic structure, but this can change at an instant. That's the first thing we want to look at. Now let's take a look at our gamma levels. Actually, our Ludwig level. So we're right at a major target level here. So the way it works is on the directional line, the yellow line, we want to see price. If we anticipate bullish momentum, we expect price to hit our first target, which in this case would be 747. So we're there right now. So one of two things are going to happen. We're either going to see price end up rejecting this level, and maybe we begin to start getting some type of retracement, possibly even deeper back to yellow, or we end up breaking out, and then we start our bigger move to 30,020. So this would be kind of like our final objective to the upside. Again, if we do fail and we start breaking down below that 750 level, and we accept, then we'll be looking for a move back towards 500s, back down to this area. And then based on what happens here, we could potentially look for our next target down below, blue. So these are pretty much the two areas that we're going to be aiming for. Upside 30,020, downside 29,058. Okay, so now let's take a look at our gamma levels, and let's take a look at where we're at with some of the important key gamma levels here. So as of right now, we're approaching our 1-day max, but we are kind of testing the 700 level. So we've actually closed above, and we can see that we are beginning to accept above. So again, for me personally, what I like to see is these levels hold. I don't want to see price close back under, and then we get a failure to reclaim. If so, in essence, we could get long if we do end up breaking the level, and then we wait for that failed breakout, and then we can get long that way. The other scenario is if we do reach 1-day max and then there's no continuation where buyers end up kind of weakening at these highs, then we can anticipate potentially a failed breakout, and then we can start looking for shorts once we begin to start seeing that weakness come in. But currently, we're in positive gamma at the moment, so we're above our HVL levels. So as of right now, we're just going to kind of anticipate that price is going to be somewhat dampened. So on moves up, we're going to expect that there's going to be some selling, so meaning price will be contained. It's not going to be overly aggressive. So I did post my my daily game plan in the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, you can go ahead and check it out under Market Talk. I'm posting it right now there for now. Eventually, it'll be in the other sections. But that's kind of what we're looking at going into the open. We got about 4 minutes left. We can see that we're kind of consolidating here at the moment, right between 750s and 725. So we'll see how things develop here. And again, we'll be paying attention and watching a couple important things here as we start moving towards these key levels. Let's duplicate this chart really quick. We can get this going. Gotta fix this. Alrighty. Alrighty. Yeah, so our overnight high now is 786. So if we start holding that high and we start getting some acceptance, and maybe we push higher, but if not, we fail, we can look for rotation. So 700 is kind of like that line in the sand, right? That 700 level. So we got to see if we can support 700s. If they don't support 700s, then, you know, it could be a problem. Could be a problem, but all good. We're not chasing highs here, guys. We're not chasing highs. That'd be nice. Take a look at that daily chart. Wow. So we'll see this daily chart here. If we end up holding up here, let's see if we end up getting back above overnight high. If not, then could be failure to look into here. We got some bids coming in. Going right into that bid. Good luck, everybody. All my stuff is working here. 700 test. Or we can already start seeing some nodes build here. We're just watching here as we start pushing lower into 700s. We got some pretty large nodes building overhead. ES is also selling off as well. Okay, watching to 700, see if they're going to be able to reclaim. Breaking down 700, do we get a failed breakdown below 700s? Possible scalp if we end up reclaiming that level. There we go. They're trying here, 700s. Will they reclaim? Will they reclaim? Or reject? There's a reclaim. Can they hold? There's that reclaim, but still kind of shady here. That was the move. Didn't take it, unfortunately. That pullback did hold that 700, so that would have been the reclaim entry on the reclaim of 700. But watching now here 775s to see if they break out from overnight high or if they're going to reject 775s. Would be my next level to pay attention to here. Okay, there's that overnight high break. So that was pretty explosive there. So nice little reclaim play there off the 700 low. So 700, I'm sorry, not low, quarter level. Once they reclaimed that level, pretty big explosive move. Let's see if we can sustain this. We're stacking the bid here, 189 contracts. Let's see. Maybe we push up into our one-day max at 855s. Keep our eye there on that higher time frame as we approach our major level here at 855s. We look left, we can see that we've got this nice swing that we're beginning to kind of like recover from, right? So this whole move down is now obviously trading back through. So we're going to see, we obviously can push all the way back up to these highs today, but in order to do that, we're going to need to get through this one-day max. Prices just ripping. Bam, that reclaim level 700 was the play. See if we get a nice little snap here. Trying to hold, they're testing at 750. I'm sorry, the one-day max. See if they can pop through that level now. Nice little prime short there. Let's see. Give it a shot here for a quick scalp. Under the one-day max. And then get through these freaking bids. Nice. I'll take that scalp. Quick 15 points. Prime short against one-day max. We'll take it. Build our little cushion here for trade number one. I'm going to try to get like 2 little base hits here. Build a buffer, and then we can start pressing. Hopefully we don't have a day like yesterday, or at least yesterday morning. The rest of the day was pretty decent actually. All right, let's see if they hold here. There's more room for a pullback here. We'd be looking for maybe a retest down to 800s, possibly even down to 787s, and VWAP is down to 772s. Well, we'll see if we get more reclaim, probably get long again for a retest of these highs, and just scalp our way until rotation trend changes. There's a reclaim of 25s. Let's see if they're going to hold that. We'll see if we get a pump into one-day max again. Take a quick scalp long here. Hopefully we don't reject too aggressively. Still got like 3 minutes left on this 15-minute candle, so let's see if we get this next pump here. Got some offers overhead. Can we get to those offers at 65? And yes, we do. Another quick base hit there for another 15 points. My magnet was this 171 contracts on the ask, so figured, hey, let's see if they're going to go after it. So that's enough. They reclaimed 25. We got a nice little dip and rip, 125. We had some sellers come in. We had about 138 contracts hit the bid into a prior support level. Major quarter at 25. Little dip below, reclaim. There's the entry on the pullback. It's a little quick play. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, we are pretty extended overnight, so don't want to be chasing, you know? So taking these base hits and stack them up while we can. And they keep throwing offers out. Let's see if these buyers are that. We'll see what their appetite is. If they can continue to press. Take a look at our heat map really quick. See how things are evolving on the option side. We got POCs on the SPX much higher, about 40 points higher. Same thing on the SPY. And we're actually above POC on NQ. So that's definitely giving us, and we had a migration. So that's definitely giving us more of a bullish lean here. So we're going to continue to follow this move unless something drastically changes here. We can see they're building pretty big nodes overhead here on the SPY and SPX. Let's see, so our next area here on the QQQs could be if we start trading through 21s, be looking for 725. So we'll see what happens here. We are beginning to kind of like pin around this area here for a little bit. Let's see. We shall see. Keep our eye on that. Keep our eye on that. Okay, IB is set. I'm sorry, ORB set. Let's see. They just slammed the opening range high. Are they going to break through that? Look at the buyers really trying to get through this opening range high here. There we go. They're going to squeeze through. We should be able to get to these offers up at 900s. We have our one-day max now acting as support. So we had breakout, pullback, and now we've beginning to hold this area now. So this little zone. Still got this ask here, 242 contracts overhead, 900s. ES is now pushing up towards 770, 75.70. So target for ES on the push up would be 75.85. So we got some room there. about 26 points away, 25 points away from where we are right now. And that would be ES's one-day max. So definitely something you want to pay attention to, because as ES has a motive, you know, unless we start seeing complete divergence from NQ, this could obviously continue to have an influence overall on NQ. So let's see, as we start moving towards 770s, if they can get there, then the next main area would be 785s. So we are breaking the high. So let's see if they can continue to hold. They'll probably pull back now after taking an opening range high. And let's see if they pull back, and maybe we can get some re-entries. So just tried to sell it back into opening range high. We got a bid here that kind of absorbed that. Looking for some type of pullbacks that we can join in on. I don't want to be buying up here at this upper band here. So I'm going to wait for some type of like snapback. Maybe we get a rotation back to the bottom band or middle band, and then we look for a reclaim, and then we can get long again. 770s, 780s. Let's see, now they're pushing with 100 contracts still hanging out overhead right under 900s, and then we also have more at 900s. If they give us some nice liquidation here, where they just slam the stops really quickly and give us a nice little reclaim opportunity. Our opening range is 199 points. Our opening range is 199, 800 ticks. So that gives us something nice to play with if we end up trading back inside. All right, we're beginning to reclaim the opening range high. Can we actually get back inside and stay inside, or do we immediately fail to hold under and we snap right back out? Got our nice little trend flip right here. So we are pulling back now to our mid. We're seeing some selling coming in. So we're watching this overall higher low. This is the rotation higher. So we have a high, higher low. It's market structure basics. We should know that. We're now pulling back. Pretty aggressive move so far from the opening range high. What's our ATR right now? It's about 100 ticks on the 1 minute. So we got room for even deeper pullback. 760, so this could also potentially be an opportunity, but let's just watch how we interact now with 825s. This was our failed breakdown level here. They attempted to break down here and then they reclaimed that level, so let's see if they end up holding it. Otherwise, we may look for deeper retracements, 800s, opening range mid, 770s. Take a look at the 15-minute chart. We just swept those highs and we're back inside. Got 10 minutes left, so still a lot of time for this 15-minute candle to do what it needs to do. 5-minute is sweeping the prior 5-minute low. So we're going to watch to see if we get any type of buyer stepping in. As you can see right here at our bottom green band, this is our support zone. We want to avoid selling down into these, we want to avoid selling while we're in the green, okay? That's going to be the key thing. We want to avoid really buying when you're in the upper band. We want to wait for price to pull back, reclaim, go. Okay, let's see. So the sellers defended, they pulled back. Let's see if they're going to be able to hold 25s now. Let's see. Not enough. See, the sellers were not enough to get this ATR flip. So what happens is, you'll notice these bricks turn red to green, right? So right now we're green. And even though we're kind of like pushing down here, the buyers are technically in control at the moment. Here, we haven't gotten a reflip. Or so you'll notice here, this line is flipping from green to red. That tells us where the strength is. Because in order for that to flip, it's not just like a candle closure. It's not just like a moving average cross. Price needs to move a certain amount of points of distance within a certain time to be able to get that flips, to successfully flip that line, right? It's not a typical super trend. It's ATR based. but it helps us understand overall strength of the move, right? So we can see every single pullback, there's going to be a flip that occurs. So right now, and then you see this line showing us that this green line here is just showing us that we're in an upward rotation. So there we go. So the buyers took complete control. Sellers never could reclaim that push down. So that green dot right here was kind of the clue. The fact that we couldn't flip back red on any of these bricks here, that's telling us. And they were holding the super trend here, as you can see. And so now we're pumping right back up to these highs. I was hoping for maybe even a little bit more of an aggressive or even deeper pullback, but they were right at the VWAP. You know, they did a nice little double bottom here, and now they're taking out these highs. Pretty clean price action so far this morning. I think it's going to be a pretty good morning session here. Yesterday, obviously, you know, conditions weren't the best, but it's important to recognize that as soon as possible so you can adjust what you're doing. These moves have been pretty epic. So look at that, 352 ticks to the downside. This full rotation up, about 400 ticks here. Pretty nice. Let's see if we get expansion now through these highs, 900s. I guess the main target now would be, if we look at the 15-minute, is that 30,000 call wall. So if we got some juice to get up there, we'll see what happens. Well, again, 10 o'clock hour, that closes things. So we want to see how this 15-minute candle closes, because what ends up happening, we get this strong closure, depending if they, maybe, who knows, maybe they can actually do it and get there within the next couple minutes. Highly unlikely. There's no catalyst. But then, you know, these guys end up getting vulnerable because we have some imbalances here that we may need to revisit before we continue higher. So that's something to consider here, where we may have some gravitational pull back towards 800s. So, you know, let's see how this 15-minute candle closes, and maybe we get a nice little retracement back, and then we can push back up to our call wall, 30,000s. Take a look at that hourly really quick. We are approaching this balance here from July 6th. We're actually in it right now. And we'll see if there's going to be any participation as we start trading through these levels. So far, our price has had no issue trading through any of this volume that we've had here for the last couple days. It's unfortunate. I was really looking to get that retest of 9,000s or 29,000s. We never got there. Buyer said nope, immediate fail breakdown below the level, reclaim, and then just rotate all the way back up. So now we have this nice sell-off now being completely repaired. And then who knows, obviously with everything going on with Iran, oil prices, all the AI news, we get above 30,000, we begin that upward trek potentially back to all-time highs. Where's that at? 31,000s, right? Somewhere around 31,000s. But we've got some time. We'll see what happens here. Nice little channel beginning to break. So yeah, that could also potentially give us an opportunity for pullbacks. We'll see what happens. All right, so we're now pumping into the 900. Still stacking offers. We got 20 seconds left here on the 5-minute to close. Pretty nice 5-minute candle there. Let's see how it closes here in 13 seconds. Pretty decent reclaim on the 1-minute chart. So that 25 level definitely defended. Something worth noting. So if we do come back into that level during the session, we want to be aware. Are we accepting above 900s? Looks like we are. Pumping into these offers, prices continues to lift. Don't be trying to fade this yet, guys. Let's not try to fade this to stay with the trend. So far, I'm only 2 trades in. Took a quick scalp off the 1-day max short for a quick 15 points, and then we took a quick long scalp on the reclaim of the 25 level. Got our nice little buffer. So now we're just looking for this 10 o'clock candle to open up, and then we can maybe look for opportunities within that 10 o'clock hour. So let's see what we can get here. Maybe we can catch some expansion on the hourly. How's this hourly ATR? About 500 ticks. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you get value from what you're seeing here, if you like what you're hearing, seems helpful, support the channel. Not really good at YouTubing. It's not really my thing, but kind of bored just trading by myself. So let's hang out. Doing something for so long, you know, like, well, it's not that it's boring. It's just, it's kind of, I don't know. This might be a little bit more, I think it might be a little better to be able to share with other folks and talk with them and kind of get, you know, just put it out there. So let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. 3 minutes left. We're beginning to find some nice exhaustion right at this offer at 925s. Not enough to do anything yet, but just kind of just noting what's happening. You know, we had an offer here and haven't punched right through it as of yet. They're still holding trend, so we can see we're getting these higher high, higher lows. Every pump push down gets absorbed. Let's take a look at what's going on Bookmap right now. There's still these offers here at 40s, yes. I got some notes here saying that the rallies are being sold into heavy by dark pool selling. Sellers took pressure, structure pulls up. So what that's saying is this move is happening upward, but dark pools are selling. So off the tape, right? So on the lit tape, you can see it, but off the tape, dark pools are selling into this move. So so the rallies are being sold into. Interesting. So let's see. Let's see. 25. Nice little rejection here. 10 o'clock here, about to open up. Let's see what these guys do here at 10 o'clock. All right. Pretty aggressive candle there. So this was a nice little pullback right here into this little gap on the hourly. Nice little sweep of the low. And now we expand higher. But now let's see what happens here. Big reaction so far. Let's see if we get reclaimed above 900. Can we reclaim 900s? There's that reclaim. Let's see if they hold though. The start of the hour, you know, you got to give it a little bit of a chance to kind of play both sides of the opening print. So 800 seems to be that level, a vulnerable level. You may want to pull back to. So we'll just continue to watch. They're still holding up here. Another potential little failed breakdown right here. So we'll see if they're going to hold this level on a retest. Buyers here are getting tested. Let's see. The buyers here are getting tested. Watching 900s. Take a look at the Bookmap. Watching how they handle this on the Bookmap. Very important in that moment. That's where we can see microstructure of the order flow. That white line is the 800 level where they reclaimed, right? They dipped below right at the open or 10 o'clock open and they reclaimed it. So but we still have not gotten back above 911s successfully. So let's see if they can do it here. They may need to dip harder one more time. And there's some room down below. I mean, they can easily sweep these lows in order to reaccumulate and then from there drive up higher. So we just watch. Buyers will need to hit the gas pedal here if they're going to continue this shallow trend, shallow uptrend where we're getting pullbacks that are super shallow. Looks like they are beginning to loosen up here. We've got a trend flip here on our Renko execution chart. Can they reclaim or do we get some displacement and liquidation? They're putting a bid here at 890s. There's 42 contracts. Can we hit that bid? Let's see. Can they hit the bid? That'll be a telltale sign. They hit the bid and then we watch to see if it gets absorbed. In fact, they couldn't even hit the bid. Look at that. That's important. Let's see. Back above. Okay. You can literally see, I don't know if you guys can see the Bookmap, but you can see how they put the bid here. Price moved away from it, tried to seek some offers. We have one right here, 20s. So let's see which way they're going to go. The fact that they didn't fill this bid and they just canceled the bid right here, that probably means they don't want to go lower. But let's give it a shot. Maybe we get another scalp long here, unless they start failing again, back under 90s or 900s. So we'll try a quick long here, and maybe we get a retest of this prior hourly high. But we're in long for a quick scalp. Again, just still building a buffer here. I have a 2-trade. I'm so far green 2 trades have a decent buffer, so I'm trying to build a pretty nice buffer here, and then we can maybe, once we get some move above the prior hourly high, or we get a deeper retracement, then we can start sizing up for a bigger move. My only concern is they pulled that bid down below at 890, so they may come back into that if they fail to hold this 950 level. So let's see what happens here. We're on the struggle bus here. Buyers are needing to step on the gas here if we're going to get this move. I don't like how they're back underneath the open print, so I'm going to close that trade for a small cut. Because we're already at the high, I'm going to be very tight with that. I don't want to sit there and then end up getting trapped, thinking that we're going to get a bigger, aggressive move from that move. And yeah, maybe it's going to happen, but I'm watching what's going on here at the opening print, and it's being defended here. So maybe we get deeper move lower. And the fact they pulled that bid down below, I don't know. Maybe we create a vacuum and we get a deeper retracement. So we'll see what happens here. We're still holding 900s. We're back underneath again. I'm going to try to see if we can get that deeper retracement for Scalp. I'll try. Be a tight stop here above my structure. So they could easily swipe it right back up, just like they did at the initial move. But they did pull that bid, so I do like that. I do like that part. So as we retest that level, I want to see what happens. That bid got pulled to 87, and now we're through the bid. I created a nice little vacuum, and now they're stacking the bid here. You can see we have a cluster, 82s and 80s. Also on my chart, you can see it. So we're up 70 ticks, 80 ticks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's take our partial. Just paid ourselves on about 15 to 20 points. There's 25 points. I'm going to hold this potentially for 800s if it doesn't snap all the way back. So we're in short on that, on the breakdown. So that was all tied to the open print of the 10 o'clock hour. We can do a quick run through on that one really quick. We're still in the trade, I think. Yes, we are. So that is right here on the 1 minute chart. 10 o'clock hour opened up. We pushed down. They had a bid. That is what the price moved away from it immediately. Then they canceled the bid. So we're looking at that with liquidity levels and the Bookmap. Buyers came in. Sellers tried once. This was the chance for the buyers to take control. Right, you see this nice little sweep candle here. They swept the low, closed above the high. And then from there, that would have been it. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll get long here on the reclaim of the 900. But then as soon as we had this down close candle here, right there, that was the warning. Once we started getting back under the open, I said, forget about it, I'm out. And then as we started breaking down, we got that trend flip on the Renko execution chart. So this dot right here, I know it sounds so stupid, but the dot right here was the trigger that, hey, buyers might be getting trapped. Let's go. And so we hit it short on that break. Nice little quick 15, 25 points. So now we're going to hold for the deeper move because we have some levels to potentially fill down by 800s. So let's see if we can get down to 800s now and just ride this thing down for a little bit. And I will trail. I'm not going to try to like sit there and be a hero while I'm still trying to build my buffer, even though my buffer is pretty nice now. So let's see if we can make it bigger. Try to lock in at least like, well, I mean, we haven't really expanded too much. So I'll probably just do maybe just a structural trail. But we are trying to reclaim that opening range high. So buyers will need to step in here if they're going to buy and take back control of this auction. And we're testing the 1 day max, right? We're back at the 1 day max. So now we've got this support zone that should have held at 10. And we could see on the Renko chart, let's get rid of the minute chart for now. Let's get rid of the Bookmap for now. I don't need to look at Bookmap anymore until we are looking at a key level. So we can see we came to the offer, and the first clue, let's get rid of the hourly 2 for a second. The first clues at 930s, or sorry, 29,925, there was this offer we had noted where they couldn't fill it, right? They just kind of got there and they rejected it once, twice, 3 times. That's not enough to say, oh yeah, this is going to completely fail. But that was like the first clue, offers unable to fill. Second clue was when we came back into 900s. Wow, we caught a nice one here, guys. We're still in this trade. We're up about 50 points. Let's go. I'm waiting for 800s. We got a nice bid hanging out here. You can see that's probably where they're going to try to take it. But remember, 25 is where they supported level, supported price. So we had aggressive defense by buyers at 25. So let's just set it and forget it. How about that, huh? Let's just set it and forget it. Let's see if I can just attach my trail here. Usually I use my hotkeys for that, but I didn't have the time to turn them on here. Oops, I don't know why it's not letting me attach. Attach to indicator properties. Holy shit. Never mind that. For now, we'll just let the levels handle it for us. Weird that I can't do it here. Oh, there we go. Okay. And we'll just do like, oh, maybe I need to do a little bit more than that. Yeah, it's better. So we'll just see if we can catch more. So we're up right now about 60 points, 300 ticks. So anyways, the idea here, there was a bid, they pulled it. Okay, cool. Everyone was trying to get long. Everyone was like, yay. And then all of a sudden, when we failed to hold that opening print, you could just see what they did here. It did a nice little, let's call this a crown, right? They do a low, lower low, higher high, trap, and then that's it. Game over. Game over. That pattern right there, again and again. So, and then once they came back into that same area where they pulled the bids, that's where they accelerated with the sell orders. So we can see, if I zoom in, you'll see there was 100 contracts literally right where they had pulled the bid before. So they sold right into that thing. They trapped the support buyers, even people who were trying to like buy double bottoms, buy opening range highs. Everybody just got trapped on that, right? So let's see, this hourly chart now is approaching value area high, current session value area. So let's see if they end up finding some support here. It's a pretty dope trade. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at the heat map on GEX AI. Pretty epic tool here. A lot of great tools out there that do pretty much the same thing. I think what's cool about this though, it like literally just tells you what's going on, so you don't have to sit there and try to like learn options and understand how it all works. It just tells you straight up like the most important stuff right here. So I like that. I like that. It's pretty cool. Okay, we might start seeing some pause here. So 800 was my level. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off there for 800. That was my main target anyways. If we continue lower, great. But if we do get reclaims, I'll get long again. I'll get long again. Yeah. Okay, trying to reclaim 800s. Can they successfully reclaim the 800 level? We reclaim 800, we get long again. We start buying above 800s if they hold. We'll take a look at the book map as we start approaching this reclaim entry. Nothing interesting yet, but they have broken back above 800s. I need to see the buyers defend the next attempt from sellers, right? So yeah, we've gotten down. Obviously, it's pretty aggressive. You know, a little bit of a panic there, maybe for some buyers. We see sellers come in and press, and now we're beginning to see a reclaim. Okay, cool. But is this just is this just a pause, right? Is it just a pullback, and then sellers come back and hammer again? The last thing we want to do is just predict, and then we get clobbered, right? So there you go. There's the pullback. So now we want to watch to see that the buyers can defend and the sellers get trapped. And that's the way we can potentially participate to the upside. But it doesn't look like they're defending. Nope. That's that. Look at that. Oh, sheesh. There you go. Now, if this reclaims, we got a lot of sellers here that could get trapped. But that right there, I mean, that 800 levels, yeah, it's kind of toast at the moment. So pretty decent move, man. That's awesome. Maybe we get back to opening range low. Big prime signal on the big Renko bar. So for those who are using Renkos, if you put on a 32 bar chart, we just got our first prime signal on the 32 bar chart. That could have some pretty big weight on price right now. So I would anticipate a move net now based on that to like 670, 671, which would be our opening range low. This thing is dropping like it's hot, bruh. Big dump. Holy cannolis. Let's go. This is the type of stuff that we've been waiting for. You know, hopefully I wish we had that yesterday, but Let's see. Right at 10 o'clock too, huh? They didn't even sweep the high. That's interesting. Did the ES sweep the high? Yeah, it's ES swept the high, but the NQ did not sweep the high. Funny. Bruh, that was wild. I should have held that trade. Okay, all good. All good in the hood, guys. So I have a nice little buffer now, so we can definitely start playing a little bit more aggressive now. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got some potential opportunities upside back to 800s. So watching 700 level here, if they're going to be able to reclaim this level and hold. Buyers are trying. Are they going to get clobbered again? We're back under New York Open. We can reclaim New York Open. Can we get a little pop? Get this chart up here so we can put it in center view. Prices crazy. You know what I'm missing right now is my squawk box. I don't know what's going on with the news. Let's put on with everything going on right now. We got to kind of keep our ears open, right? But the funny thing is you can obviously trade the chart, right? Because the chart will also tell you what you need to know. And we kind of understood. It's funny because the options map told us that it was bullish, price was ripping higher, yes, but what ended up happening was that dark pool was selling into the move. Dark pools were selling into the move. So that was actually important information, right? That was important information. So that right there supports what just took place. So I kind of like that. That was really, really cool. So Bookmap now. Let's see. Let's go to ES. Let's take a look at the ES book. You want to learn order flow. Honestly, like the easiest way to learn order flow, in my opinion, is study the ES, right? Because if you look at the ES order book, it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot thicker, and you can actually really see all the order flow patterns really, really cleanly. Yeah, this thing is toast. That hourly now is underneath, almost approaching the prior hour low. How rude would it be if they just yanked the low and take it all the way back up? How rude would that be if they reclaim 700s? That'd be pretty rude, right? Let's try a long. Let's try a long here on a reclaim. So we'll try a quick one here. A quick one here. How rude would that be? That would be pretty rude. Let's see if they're going to get back under. You got that cluster there on the ES, so that could also put pressure on this downward move here. We're getting back underneath 700s. I'm stopped out, back under 700s. All good. We're playing with a buffer. Buyers did not defend there. Let's see again. What is this, opening range low? Let them run that opening range low maybe. But I would like a reclaim, maybe scalp play. Let's see if we get a fail breakdown reclaim situation. That first one did not work out for me. But let's see. Watching. Let's go back into ES, just filled some orders there. Let's see if they're going to slam. Go back to NQ, 75s. One more time. We'll try one more time. This will be a quick cut if they cannot hold this 75 level. No. Oh my god. I should have waited for that opening range low to get taken out. I was hoping that they would have trapped some sellers who were trying to get that move. And there we go. This continuous cascading of selling over and over again. So we've now taken out the opening range low. Now we watch to see if we get what I've been waiting for, right? Let's see if we get some reclaim. If not, this thing keeps dropping. Okay, cool. We're not going to sit there and try to be buying reclaims. Trend is staying heavy. Everything's pressing lower at the moment. I'm going to watch now on the hourly. Our next structural point of interest is going to be 63s, 563s. Put that on your chart so we can watch what happens when we get there. 563s. But took 2 cuts there. All good. That's why we got a buffer, baby. Got to get that buffer built. You can take them losses. Then we got a prime long signal here. Okay, I'm going to see maybe we can do something with that this time around. No, 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 no. Let's go. Stay above 62. Stay above 62. Let's see. We're in. We got that 50. Ooh, buyers are really pressing there. You can see they're getting absorbed. That is not good. We go again. $650. Did they get absorbed again? Here they go again. You can see. You keep trying, failing, trying, failing. One more time. No. There, trying, trying. There we go. Can we push a little bit more than that? Don't crack back under 50s. And it becomes a failed breakout. Oh, yeah, see? Get back above. See the order flow? See the buying that's happening there? Let's see. Stops at break even now. Let's see if we get that push to opening range low. Can we get there? Yes, we can. And there's my scalp target, guys. I'm taking that scalp target because market's pretty heavy, right? So I just took that scalp target for 15 points on the reclaim of 650. And it was a little iffy there because on the order book, we could see this is what it was for me. That order book, they came in under 625. And right there, we had this nice compression underneath, immediately rejected it, came back, rejected again. Look at the volume. You can see these bubbles here telling us the volume of aggressors. Very little sell volume at the lows, right? And then you see, this is the part that got me iffy because then at this point, we pumped into the level and we had a buyer sweep that did not break out. So when we have a buyer sweep that does not break out, that means that there's absorption here. There's sellers, passive sellers that are hanging out right here. And so this was the part that was iffy for me. But then once we had the reaction and came back to 25s, you could see they tried again one time. They got under 25 right here. 29, 624.10. They came right under and immediately reclaimed. Sellers tried again. And so now what's happened is at that point, they started, exhausting the sellers. And then we had that nice little pop. And this is where they started taking full control. So you can see the difference here. It's all green, right? Very little red. And then eventually we did get the nice little pop above. And once we had this pop, this volume bubble here, 55, I think that was pretty much it. Oh no, they did come back down one more time. And there you go. Every time you see they get under and then they reclaim, I mean, that's what we want to see, right? And that's typical in how price moves with key levels. So they're going to probe these levels. And the most important thing is you begin to identify these reclaims. So they close under, get back above, and unable to stay under. So it's like, here's the level, price goes underneath it, and it's like rejected. Underneath it, rejected. Underneath it, rejected. And eventually you can't even get underneath it. It's like, up, and then it rips, right? And then it rips. And then it rips. So it looks like we're going to be rotational today, right? I mean, we just took out the opening range high. We took out the opening range low. The next levels to pay attention to is our IB. So we have our IB high, IB low, and that's going to probably be the main levels I'm going to focus in on here in the next 4 minutes. Let's take a look at the gamma map here real quick and see where we're at with that. That's important as well. Let's throw it up. There we go. All right, so take a look at the 15-minute. We basically swept our one-day max. What did we do here? We got some support level. We just retested this failed breakdown level over here from, what day is this? June 6th. Yeah, so we basically have this entire area here that just got tested. And then from there, we've got this nice rotation. Okay, they filled this imbalance here that was formed at the open. But now we're beginning to find support at the call wall right around 700s. And so they're beginning to reclaim. And they are pulling off the 50 moving average here on the 15-minute chart. So we'll be watching here. This is the area of interest here that they seem to be defending. So you got this area here from this high to this low. That becomes a zone. If I want to be more specific, I would just use this down close candle here. And then we can see they just swept this structure. So after sweeping this structure, I anticipate a pullback. And then maybe if we're truly bearish, and maybe what we get is a pullback and then we get another dump, right? But if we're bullish, this is a sweep and they can continue higher. This could just be a bigger, a deep retracement here on the 60-minute, right? 60 minutes just giving us that deep retracement. So we'll see. Price is beginning to reclaim now, 700s. That's where I was initially trying. So it looks like we are rotating back up into the 15-minute opening range mid. And we are off to the races again to the upside. So, you know, although I did not hold that trade, you guys had a chance to see how that reclaim concept works. And eventually, you know, when you start looking at the Renko execution chart, we continue to respect. This is a 50 moving average. I don't think I've ever explained that on this live stream so far since we've started since last week. But this is a 50 moving average and a 200 moving average. And the Renko bars I'm using is called Unirenko. If you don't have them, you can get them for free. I can also send you the link if you like. Just go to the website, Dynasty Trading Systems / damn, I don't even know what it is. I think free-Renko or something like that. I'll figure it out. I'll post it in the chat. And then this brick size is 80, 20, 40. 80, 20, 40. Now, I use like 3 or 4 different brick sizes, but for the main structural view, 80, 20, 40 is pretty good, especially with today's ATR. 144 ticks per minute right now, so that's pretty good, right? But yes, you can see that we are holding the 50 moving average. Even here, we get our prime short, which would have been a potential continuation lower. But as soon as we get the flip back up, you see the red dot here, there's a green dot. That's the clue that this is going to fail. And then we get our higher low confirmed, and then we break out, right? And then you can see this is continuously holding structure until it doesn't. All right, so let's watch now if we get a failed breakout of 750. So watching 750s. 5-minute is still pumping. We do have IB getting set in 30 seconds, so I'm not taking any trades until the IB gets set, and then we start seeing how we handle this bigger move. Is this just a deep pullback, right? If we zoom out of the Renko chart here, we can see this is the actual starting point of this rotation, right? The rotation started from 925 all the way down to 600s, about 300 point drop, and now we're pulling back. So do we pull back to 800, one day max? Where do we pull back to, or do we go all the way back up, right? So this is where we can start anticipating potential. If we fail breakout, reclaim the level, and then we go lower and then target IB low. For the upside, what we would want to see is big down, right? And then we start just pushing up, and then maybe we get another higher high, higher low, and then maybe we get another sweep, and then we can look for that move up. So we'll see. They're stacking that bid at 26s. We'll watch the interaction of 26s. Whenever we see a bid get placed like this, this will have an influence on price. Usually you'll see some type of move initially up. It's almost like a false ignition. And then price says, oh, wait a minute, there's nothing here. And then pulls back to the orders, right? So that's typical. You'll see that happen over and over again. Prime short signal. We'll see if this actually holds up. We're under 750s. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it back into those bids. And maybe it's not the right move, but we'll just see what happens here. We'll just see what happens here, because we did already reclaim once. Looks like they're reclaiming already again. I'm watching the order book now just to make sure the interaction is staying underneath that 50 level. We don't want to see them continuously reclaim 50. So I'm in short again. And I'm going to take my scalp target. We just took those bids, and that's exactly how those bids work, right? They throw those bids out far from price. Price reacts by going higher and then realizing, wait a minute, hold on, there's nothing here. And then it comes back to find those bids. But then when they cancel those bids, it creates a vacuum. And then you see they just stack the bid lower at 700, and then that's where it's really going to go. So that's the true support level, right? That's the true support level. We're going to put my target right there above that ask. So let's see if they can get to that ask. They can't reach the ask, then we will probably take out IB low, right? So that's kind of how it goes. That's another 25-point trade short there based on prime signal exhaustion. We get an exhaustion at the 750 level. Price rotates, and then we are good to go. Sorry, just taking my screenshot from my journal. All right, I think we might see 700s here begin to hold. Let's see. That offer still present. It is still present. We're still offering at 32s, 35s. Watching 25 to see if they reclaim. Let's see. Flipping here, the buyers are taking control off 700s, but can they maintain control? Can they maintain control? They just broke structure here. Nope, they just took that offer. They're stacking that offer. Okay, so I think we're probably up, going back up now. There we go. So that was, they used this order flow. That's what you call manipulation of the book, right? Spoofing. They use the orders to move price. I mean, that's really what it is. That's what moves price. It's the limit orders, right? It's the passive orders that are placing orders that will be a catalyst to move price. The true test is whether or not those orders execute, right? That's how you know, okay, cool, this is genuine or this is not. But it's a separate game, right? It's a separate game, but that's what creates price action on the chart. That is what preceded this pullback. These offers here is what preceded this move back higher, right? So we can begin to start putting these pieces together. That's why it's so important, in my opinion, to have that stuff on your chart. You know, and then if you understand how to read naked price action with no indicators, I mean, that's pretty much all you need, right? That's really all you need. Let's see if this pullback holds. Let's see if this pullback holds. Probably not going to hold. I'm not really seeing anything in the order book below 725s. Yeah, you just flipped it back down again. Let's see. 25 one more time. Let's give it one more shot. See if they reclaim that level. I'm back in again. They cannot flip this back up above New York Open. And I don't want to be in this trade anymore. But if they do, then we are going to target IB high. Let's see, they cannot hold. Let's see. Get back above 50s. See the order book? They're having a hard time. They're struggle busing here at 50. Buy stops getting triggered. Come on. Take a look at the iceberg orders. Not much, so they're definitely triggering buy stops, but we're not seeing that follow through. We get back under 725, I'll cut the trade. Okay, let's start. Here we go. Moment of truth. They just put a bid there, 35s. Gotta be careful with that. You could use that to pull price lower. Okay, there's another 15 points, 20 points. How about we pay ourselves on that one? Stops break even. We in there. Let's see if we can push now back to IB high. Let's see if we can push back to IB high. Well, we gotta get through 75, right? That was our major resistance here. Support become resistance, resistance becomes support. If we can get through this, then this becomes easy for price to get back above 800s. If we can reclaim 800, that'll be great. But we'll see. What time is it right now? 7:30, 10:36. We're struggling here at 775. So there's a bid here. They may use that. Let's see. It's all about what happens. When they place an order, what happens? Cause and effect. What happens? Stop goes right below that. Up 123 ticks. There's a nice ask there for 800. We like that. We like that. Can that lift? Can that be a magnet for price to pull into? That liquidity indicator is my indicator, FYI. So for those that are part of the group, you guys are going to get access to that. Look, they pulled the offer. You saw that? It was there and it's no longer there. Hopefully that's our catalyst for a move higher. But again, we don't know. We don't know. It's just nice when you see that, right? It was an offer for 100 and then they canceled it. But there's a bid that's holding here. So price might dip into that bid first. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can rebid into that and then they just put an offer right back above. So they're using that to push price, maybe to get more orders in. Looking for a hold here. Can we stay firm above opening print? Back under 50s, they cracked 50s. So that's interesting how they did that, right? So they put the bid, price went up, like whoop, put an offer, canceled it, and then as price started dropping, they put another offer right here, and that offer pushed price into the bid. Okay. Now we're back under 750s, so just waiting now to observe which way we're going to go, because we're at the New York Open. This is the 9:30 opening print, right? And so this is where the RTH session goes from red to green, so we can expect there to be a battle between buyers and sellers. They filled that bid. Maybe we can get back in again, huh? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Watching the order book, if they can get back and stay back above 750. No. Nope, not yet. Okay. All good. I'm keeping my eye on 25s. I would like for this to reclaim here. Okay, I'm going to try again. Stops below the double bottom. One more time. This is my second attempt on this, or third attempt actually. The risk to reward could be pretty good if it does pan out and get all the way back up. So it's worth taking that risk, because we're aiming for IB high. There's an iceberg order here on the order book. You can see that there's a big passive seller that's trying to get filled at 750s. That's good, and they're buying right into it. There's another 15 points. Let's see if we get that push through 750, 75. 75. We need some ignition here. I need an ignition here. Okay, there's 80 points, or 80 ticks. Looking to take a partial, pay myself some back from that initial scratch. Stops break even, tight stops with a buffer to pay to cover commission cost. Now I want to see trend hold and expand. So this is the truth. This is the moment of truth, because right here we failed before, and this could be a double top failure, right? And there's an offer right here. Let's see if we can get to that offer. That's what we want to see. 800s, we got an offer that just showed up. Let's see if we can get there. Big buying coming in. We can see aggression on the Renko charts. Let's pump. It's pumping. Let's go. Let's see. Sellers are trying. That means they're getting absorbed. Sellers are buying. It's a battle. It is a battle right now. Let's see if we can push now through our GEX level at 800. This is a major decision point. Can we accept above 800? If we do, we're back to IB high, and we'll lock that in if we can do that. So we're trailing here, and let's see if we can make some money, guys. Well, we're already making some money, but let's see if we can make some more money, right? Let's see if we can make some more money here. We're testing the VWAP right here. This is our RTH VWAP. That's why we're seeing this battle zone happen, but we got this offer that's being advertised. So let's see if the buyer's appetite still there. Yes, it is. We have 80 contracts consumed right there at 90, instantly placed and it instantly taken out. Let's go. Can these buyers continue to push the gas? Push the gas. Let's get back above 800s. ES is also looking pretty strong right now. Let's pull up our heat map and make sure that we are looking pretty good here. Let's pull that up really quick, and then we can decide. Let's see where that is here. Yes, everything is looking pretty sexy. Pretty good. So 720. So we're kind of approaching this POC here, which is going to act like a magnet for price. So hopefully we can see price gravitate towards that level. This is a possible add on a pullback here as long as this 50 holds. They did just put a bid, so I'm a little cautious with this at the moment, but this is a battle zone here. Opening range mid. This is 50-50. This is where, hey, whoever wins this battle right now is probably going to end up being the catalyst to hit one side of the IB or the other. Hourly chart looking like it's beginning to sweep above the prior 50 midpoint. So everything's looking pretty good here, but you know, anything can happen. We're double topping now. We're beginning to reject right here. So what is this level? 800s. I want them above 800s, accepting above 800s, and then we can just all right, let's go. Pausing here. It's riding dirty. I'm gonna try to maybe what do you call it? They already swept this low right here, so I think that's okay right now. We put that right there, see what happens. Oh, 5 minute needs to expand above 800s. Otherwise, did that offer disappear? Yeah, that offer did disappear. Hold in here. Let's go. There's this expansion here above 800s. Can we get through? Watch the book. Come on now. Structural lows are your friend. 800s, big level here. This is the deciding factor if we can reclaim the high premium here. Let's get back above 800. Ooh, look, they're reoffering again. Reoffering again. Did you guys see that flash right there on the Renko chart? Yeah, looks like they're gonna try to sweep one more time down. I do need to put I should put my stop a little bit wider, but I want to make money today. I want to like take money off the table. So proper stop loss technically wouldn't even be break even. It would actually be around 725s because that was truly the last failed breakdown level where they rejected. Okay. Ooh, look at that. And they instantly placed a bid right there. So I got tagged out on my trail, but we're good. That was a nice run. Big failure there. These guys did not get through that 800 level. And this is what we said, battle zone, right? This is the battle right here. That level was important. It's still important, but buyers are not done yet. So let's see what they can do. Going back to the mid right here. That bid did get filled. Now, this is where we look for reclaims. If they can reclaim 75, that's good. They're throwing an offer out right now, 770s. Can they consume it? They consumed it. Can they get through it now? What's the reaction after they fill that order? They hit the order? Cool, great. Now what? Do we continue to buy aggressively or is that it? And then we end up dropping. There's that offer again. That somebody is definitely interested. So the plane up there at 800. You keep flashing it. Okay, looking for this 775 level. Are they able to reclaim this level? $775s. So far, it's a failed breakout of 775. We broke above the level and we're back below it, so we need to see a reclaim. Okay, here we go. Let's see. There's the move. There's the snap. You try. Quick targets. We're back in again. We're back in again. Stops already. Move to break even in case they want a trap. Taking a partial. Moving forward. Taking stop targets out. Putting targets out. We just locked in really quick. Nice scalp play there. Now we look for 800 to see what happens. I'm not trying to predict what's going to happen here. So I'm going to just be aggressive with my profit taking and my stop loss. Nice. Let's see if we can get, they're stacking the bid now. You see, you got a bid here, pushed up, bid here, pushed up. There's two offers that just came in. Let's see if buyers, we want to see some aggressive buying happen here. Let's see if we get that. No. Don't be lazy. Where are the buyers at? Stop is continuously following important levels. In this case, I'm using the VWAP. And I don't care if I get stopped out on my trail here. It doesn't matter to me. They rejected that 800 level again. That bid is still here. Let's see. Are they going to continue to hold this level? Yeah. All out of that. All good. Caught a nice little scalp on that play. So they are definitely showing up. Sellers are definitely defending 800. Okay. Here's the pullback again. This might be it. We'll give it a shot again. Let's go. Let's try. Let's try. Let's see if they can actually get through this time. Can they get through this time? There's that offer again. Can they get through this time? Order book, they put another 80 contracts there for sale. Come on. Come on. But the order book, 800s, where's the sellers? I don't see sellers here. Small volume, buying, small buy volume too. There's some selling here, absorbed, selling, iceberg sell, absorbed, push. Come on. Watch this cluster at 95 to 90s. So we have some sellers trapped under 85. Let's see if we get expansion now into the level. There's 50 ticks, but I need to see some expansion above 800 and no reclaim. Taking some off on that just in case it reclaims. Won't be too quick to go break even here. Well, actually, I could. It's a reasonable location. So we're break even on that now on our stops. And we have offers overhead. So if we can stay above 800, but this could also be fail breakdown level. The first time they close above it and then they close right back under, that's failure. So let's see, 15 seconds. We're trying, sellers are trying. Come on now. Let's see if we can chew right through these sellers here. Nope. Snap back. Boom, that was it. I think we squeezed as much as we could trying to get that move through 800, and they just will not accept that level. So until we start really holding and accepting above, we gotta respect that, right? And good news is, even though I may not have been able to catch the full move, I paid myself, went break even. So we're sitting pretty good right now. And that's, that's kind of the name of the game sometimes until we know for sure, right? But you can either sit there and wait for it to be sure. By then it might be too late. But look at that big failure here. I like that. So at this point, they're still defending though. That's the problem, right? So you got the 800 level has been tested like 3 times, 4 times. We finally got through the level and immediately closed back underneath it. Couldn't hold. And we're also still defending 750. That's our auction sell. So the auction sell right now is happening between 800 and 750. That's it. So if you can ignore everything on the chart and just draw a little zone here and here, right? And this becomes our little auction sell. I'll even use 25 points above. And that way we don't get all like distracted, right? So at this point, we're only interested in the extremes. Failure to accept, failure to reclaim, all that good stuff. So for me, it's a failure. That's a failure. We could potentially be looking to sell this thing, honestly, back to the lows of the zone here. Look how they just stacked a bit again. Reclaiming 75s. Probably going to get a flip here, and then we get that expansion lower to 750 retest. I'm probably not going to take this, but I'm just narrating as I'm hanging out. Oh, no problem, man. Does this help? I don't know if I'm talking too much. I have no idea. I don't know what's good or not good for the live stream, so your feedback will kind of help me. All right, we get that test of 750. So 800 was super, super important. I think that's watching the book map, I think, was super telling as well, because once we got to that level, you could just see how any activity was just very, very little, very weak, nothing aggressive. And as of right now, the market's balanced. The market's in agreement between 800 and 750. Now look, we're at 750, right? So that failure to break out becomes the signal to sell, right? 800 failure, boom. Look at the Renko chart. This would have been the entry signal right here. But I've already taken quite a bit of trades, so I'm kind of just like pacing myself right now. I don't want to keep fighting inside this current auction. I think I've taken enough trades in this sell. So now I'm going to allow price to move somewhere else, and let's see if we get some different interaction here. Now, it looks like we are breaking under 750 now, so I like this, but again, we're still within that zone. They could still reclaim here. 750 to 725, even down to 700. So if you're looking at 5 minute, that 700 level was the last major reclaim level. 700 was the last major reclaim level. Let's not make a mistake of trying to buy support, right? That's not, we don't want to do that. We don't want to just buy support resistance, okay? We need to allow the levels to fail, reclaim, fail, reclaim, boom, right? This is helpful because we see large selling at the lows, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And then they're stacking offers right now. So these offers, what kind of impact had these offers had on price? The effect of the offers will vary, right? So whenever we see an offer get placed, a large one, I'm using 100 to 200 contracts as an example. It's not about if the offer appears or doesn't appear. What matters is what happens when it appears. Does price move away or does it move towards? Like in this case right now, they just put an offer and price is moving towards it. But earlier, as price was dropping, they used those offers to push price down. Right? So right now we can see the reaction is price moved away from those offers. So you could take the trade like that, right? In the scalp scenarios, as price is at these levels, you just take your once you see the price fail, the reason why we like Renko is the reversal bars for us are what we call basically like engulfing candles, but with better risk to reward. So, you know, if the trend is intact, these reversal bars should be respected. So that's the secret sauce, right? If you're using Renko. And so that would have been the opportunity to get short on that. And look, they absorbed it at 725 2 times. So now you see right here, this is it. This is what I want to see, right? That's the clue. 25, big selling, same thing couldn't happen, right? Now they reclaimed 750. Now we're back in business. I wouldn't be surprised now if we get that move back to 800, but not enough. Not enough yet. I don't trust it. I don't trust it yet. Look at the 5 minute, still like kind of grindy here. So this could be a trap here too. And then from here, they end up using this area as a pullback. Boom, they pull back and then they dump it more, right? So the actual true area that they may want to pull it back into, it's going to be, like I mentioned before, 800s, right? So these guys here think they're safe. They got their stop losses right here. So everybody's happy, like we're in the money. But now they're about to get liquidated, right? They're about to get, let's trade that liquidation. How about we trade into their stop losses? Maybe we get that move. Maybe we get that nice little move here into their stop losses. Let's see if we get their stop losses. No, 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 no. Let's see if it holds. I just want their stop losses. That's it. Let's see if we can get their stop losses. Needs to happen here, otherwise it will fail, and they're not going to get their stop losses yet. Watching the book here, watching 760s, watching 75s. Watch them end up canceling 60s and then it drops. They filled that order of 60s. Yeah, I got tagged out on that. A little too overly excited there, thinking that we're going to take those stops out. It's all good. Let's see what happens next. Still possibility. Watching the Renko bar here. See if we get a upward bar and some follow through. Reclaim of that blue line. One more time. Well, immediate rejection there. Okay, let's see. Got that flipped. Come on. See if we get it. There we go. There we go. Can we get through this? Can we get through these stops now? Watching these guys right here. There's 50 ticks. Let's see if we get their stops. There we go. Come on now. Pump, pump, pump it up. I will take that partial. Do we take their stops? There's their stops. Boom. 25 points. We in the money. Stops break even. Throwing my target above 800. Maybe that's the catalyst we needed to finally break 800. Was this move down? Reclaim of 25. Big selling came in. Sellers almost had it right here. This red dot is what we call trap buyers. But those trap buyers, which was initially where I was positioning right here, end up getting trapped and then they reclaim. So one of those V bottom reversals, boom, hit the stops, boom, above 800, boom, let's go. Let's go. 50 points. Man, I guess I know how to trade after all. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going, guys. Let's not get back under 800. Let's lock up that 800 level. We have 2 minutes left here on this hourly chart. Why are we getting back under 800? They couldn't close. Look at that. These guys, bro. I believe in you, buyers. Let's get back above 800. Get back above. Be nice. Be nice. They might sweep because, again, what time is it? 1 minute left on the hourly chart. So they may end up taking it back down one more time. But it's okay. I'm secure. Look, I got my stops in place. Got some buffer. I already know, like, hey, these homies over here, they're trapped. So everyone's dying to get a retest so they can get out, break even. We're good. I'll just keep my little stop. I'll widen it up a little bit. And then we got the hourly candle opening in 20 seconds. Got a prime short. Another prime short at 800. Man, if I was trading loosely, I'd be probably shorting this right now, to be honest with you. But on this failure of the 800 acceptance, this is what's going on with the ES? ES is still holding firm. Let's see if we get back above 800 here. This is where they need to do it. New hour candle just opened up though, so let's see. Let's see if we get some instant movement away from the open. If we do, then this becomes an extremely high chance that this candle becomes a big engulfing candle and we take out high day. So far, we have not formed a lower wick, which is a good sign. This could become a beastie candle on the hourly chart. Let's see if we can pump through. We have not been able to break 800. Once we crack 800, holy cannoli, this is going to be like, you know, explosive. If we can't do it, that's it. It's already 11 o'clock. Europe is about to wrap up. Volume dynamics are going to change. Let's take a look at the heat map. Every hour, we want to look at the heat map. Every 30 minutes, take a look at the heat map. And you know what? Look at the SPX. Look at the SPY. I mean, just aggressive, just continuously trading higher. It says here, quiet grind, price ticked up, 510s. The floor firmed there. Dealers are defending it, and buyers are leaning in, coiling tight under 75.19. Positive gamma still caps it, and that's okay. So I like that, right? That's telling me that the move up is being supported, and that's all I care about, you know, across everything. So we can see that, and then of course we watch what's going on with the NQ. We watch what's going on with QQQs. We watch the order flow, and look, maybe you don't need all that stuff to catch, you know, your trades. I guess I'm a little different because I kind of like looking at all these different elements, but you know, the key thing is we can see that there's alignment, and we're not just basing a decision on a moving average or, you know, a volume node. Like, oh, look, a high volume node or a low volume node, let me just buy it. No, there's got to be more to it than that, right? I mean, you can scalp, and that's what I'm doing. I'm scalping and then hopefully turning it into a longer term structure setup. But the only way I can come to that conclusion is by putting these pieces together, you know, from a macro perspective, like the sequence of things that have happened so far. And so the story, and that's what we want to look at. Don't look at events in isolation like, oh, look, it's a pullback that succeeded. Or, oh, look, it's a limit order that got added that got pulled. We can't look at it as a singular isolated instance because everything has narrative to it, right? And it's part of the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, what is the market's motive? What's happening? And that's why we look at the options flow. That's why we look at GEX levels, because it tells us what the dealers want, right? It tells us what their agenda is and what they have to do when price gets to these levels. So that's it. We're beginning to build value above 800. We're beginning to accept. So we had a single candle closure here. It's the first time we've closed on a 1 minute chart above the 800. But we're beginning to retest that back under again. So let's see. So we'll see if they're going to respect this trend structure here that's formed. Right, we got these higher highs, higher lows on Renko. So as long as this low is still intact, I mean, technically trend is still intact, right? Trend is still intact. Let's see if we get back above 800s. Let's see if we get this flip. So right now we're in this rotational leg down. Let's see if this leg completes. Okay, completed. So now we have a higher low here. So that's decent. Now we can just play off this structure. And my stop loss technically is below this structure for now. So we're combining market structure, right? We use Renko for market structure because it's just so clean. You know, you can see all that. I use acceptance and rejection with candle closes. So I look at time-based charts and we look at time at which a 1 minute or 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, how those closes are influencing the auction. That's important because you cannot see true closes on a Renko chart. And then we use order flow to see the actual influence in how they're playing with price to move it up or down, hold in a holding pattern. They pull, they stack. And then we just look at the gamma map to give us the overall roadmap, if you will, of the dealers. And you put all that together, I think you should have no problem showing up each day and catching your bag. Get your bag and go home, right? That's it. The only time it becomes a problem is if you stay too long, because it does get exhausting after a while, right? Which is why we're building an AI called Vega that will literally crunch all this information and tell us what the heck is going on. Because you kind of got to be a machine to be able to digest all this information real time, right? You got to be like on it. Nice little bull flag. We're in this thing. We're holding. We're just going to hold for IB high. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see if we can get to the IB high. We don't need to look at Bookmap at the moment. We can just let this thing do its thing. Keep your eye on the hourly, because that's what we're trading right now. We are trading the 11 o'clock expansion. Our next area, eventually you can see these offers have no influence on price yet, right? This is, oh, they're taking the offer, taking the offer. So now this auction sell is done. We have finally concluded the auction between 800 and 750s. And now we are migrating to the next auction. And that next auction is going to be between 800 and 900s. So now we play that, but now we're going to potentially play there. So let's map that out real quick. Boom. Boom. So we'll map the 25-point range, 75 to 800s, and then we'll do from 75, what was it, 800 to 25. Yeah, so we'll just map that option now. Can't click on it. Whatever, close enough. So I just wait now to see if we can start trading inside this range now, this new auction. And sometimes they'll just skip right through it, and like boom, because it's on a mission. All right, I think we kind of did pretty good here today. I think our read on the market was super tight. I think that was important. You know, I think yesterday wasn't that great, but today was. I don't know. I think I finally got some sleep. I haven't been sleeping too much the last couple nights, but I think we have recovered from that. Some buying coming in. That's what we like. Let's see. We can continue to see aggressive buyers here. We're at the 1-day max now. Pull up that 15-minute chart. See how we are interacting with that level. And this is where we have to be mindful that this could potentially be a resistance area here, right? So we did reject already one time on the 15. The actual rejection level is 900s, right? So what 900s? Let's just drop the major level there. Refresh. All right. Drop my major. Where is it? Oh, that's weird. Why is it not plotting? Trying it again. Well, I think it's on this chart. That's what it is. The hourly chart, now we just focus on that one for right now. Okay, so we are beginning to test that 50 level. I'm going to move my stop up now to 25s. And let's see if they can reclaim 50s and stay in trend. Hopefully we can continue to hold this trend. And we get a nice smooth drift higher. A nice melt up. If you guys are interested in jumping into the Discord, it's not really that active right now. It's kind of new. It's brand new, actually. So there's not a lot of stuff in there, but there's a free section there that we're going to be building out and throwing some stuff in there and build a community. People who are interested in learning how to trade Renko, order flow, price action, gamma levels, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. One thing I think we're going to do totally different than a lot of the other live streamers out there. I mean, most of them are just like promoting prop firm stuff, which I get it. It's cool, you know, but I think we're not going to really be doing that. We're not going to be hammering affiliate links for prop firms and stuff. We're just going to be more focused on trading and trading well. And, you know, whether you trade a live account or prop firm account, that's up to you. But our focus is going to be on mastering and dialing in the ability to execute at a high level. Something we all need to be focused on and working on if we expect to make this a career, right? Big order, 500 contracts at 900 on the book. 500 contracts at 900 on the book. Why? But that may have had an initial effect on price. They may use that 500 orders to get price back down so they can refill and reload at a better price on the bid. And then they take it out, right? They use that to then gravitate towards 900s. But we're in right now, and we have that big order for 500 contracts. You can see it on my Bookmap right here. 900 contracts. It's also on our liquidity levels indicator. It's plotting that as well. A very nice drift here so far. It's been calm. I know that this 1-day max is probably going to end up giving us a little bit of a battle here, but we'll see. I'm gonna actually take one of the contracts off and just leave that last contract on. So just peeled one off there at a 350 ticks, and then we'll just leave the last runner on there. And for that, I will actually use, I will keep my stop loss maybe down below like 800s, or at 800s, it's fine. I don't really care about this last one. Not that I don't care, but I would rather use this last contract to get the full trade. And I probably will not scale in anymore in this move, even though there's still opportunities to do so. Unless we get some type of setup again, where we get a failure, a breakdown, failed breakdown, reclaim, hold, press, boom. Then yeah, I can get back in again. But until then, we'll just let it do its thing. Price may pull back down to 25s again, so just going to be watching that. But everything else is here is pretty much good to go for today. I think we're done here with the trading, at least taking some new trades. Take a look at some stocks, see what's going on there. Okay, they're staying firm above 25. If you guys want to jump to the Discord, let me give you guys that link. Let me give you guys that link really quick. Drop it in there. Where is my Discord? I don't even know. There you go. Oh, there it is. Invite. That's the Discord link. Feel free to check it out. That's the website. If you want the Renko bars, let me get you guys that too. That is free. And there we go. There, you guys can check it out. This is where you go to get the free Renko bars. You should not have to pay for Renko bars. Never pay for Renko bars. Transform your trading. So this is the Renko, Unirenko bricks that we're using. You just hit the download button, pop in your info, we send it over to you. There'll be some training. I don't think we have it set up yet, but there'll be like a video of how to do it, what to do, and all that good stuff. So you can check that out. Download the free Renko stuff, at least the bricks, and you can go from there. If you're interested in some of the other stuff that we have, you'll see more information there on the homepage. Breaks down all the different tools, but we have semi-auto traders. We have all the gamma indicators, structure indicators, all the stuff you see on the Renko. And look at that. Isn't that nice? This is nice. We are in there. Is anybody in this trade too? Is anyone else long? Not these Renko bricks. Sorry, only Ninja Trader. My apologies, man. I don't think. I'm not sure. Not these type, at least. I'm sure they have their own version. Most platforms have a Renko version, but the ones I use are specifically called Unirenko, and they're built on NinjaTrader. We're back above 1-day max, opening range high. Let's see if we can pump to IB high. IB high. Is that order still there? Are those guys still there on the book? They are still there in the book. Look at the 500 contracts, just sitting pretty. You don't technically need Renko bricks. I mean, you can. It's just more for execution and trend. It's more of like an indicator if than anything else, right? It's just kind of like, oh, that's an indicator. If you're thinking of selling, you just look at the Renko chart like, well, no, probably not going to sell right now. um, but yeah. ES is right at its 770 level. Well, hopefully this finishes out here so we can wrap it up. I may just end up killing the stream, but this is going to be it, guys. I'm just going to sit through this trade for the rest of the session. I'll probably just wrap up the live stream here. If you have any questions, you can, in the next couple minutes, just pop them in the chat. Be happy to answer some questions. And we can go from there. But probably start wrapping this up here by 11:30. Did our business early today with very little effort, which is good. We didn't require too much mental capacity to accomplish the goal. I think the first goal is to be able to get in sync with the market, to understand dynamics of what's happening, with the auction. That's the hard part. Sometimes if we're just impatient, we just start swinging the bat. And then it's like this game is happening, but we're not paying attention to it. It's like, we're just in our own little game. And that game is called revenge trading, over trading, survival trading, FOMO trading. And we know how that game ends, right? Doesn't end very well. All right, we got some sellers trying to press here under 850s. Let's see if these guys get absorbed. Nice little fail breakdown. Let's see. No, okay. Okay, so we've got a nice little breakdown of the 50 level, 850 level. Let's see if they're going to be able to reclaim. There is some reason for price to pull back. They could pull all the way back down to 800 again and test. So, just keep that in mind while we're trailing our stop here. So what I would look for if it does end up pulling back to 800 is just, if you're still trading, just watch to see if we end up staying within that boundary of 800 to 775s, and if we can stay accepting above that and build more value above that level, then moving back up to the high day should be no problem. So we'll see. Buyers here trying to push in, absorb these sellers here. So again, we had the seller come in right here. 114 contracts got executed. That could be enough to get the flip and trap and then accelerate higher. Let's see if they do so. We need to watch because we are at 1-day max right now. 1-day max. See if they can push through. Very good. Let's see, I'm looking for a green dot. I mean, I'm not taking any more entries on this, but I'm just watching to see if we get that green dot. That could give us enough. Got the seller that came in under 850. Right, these guys here got trapped. Sellers came in thinking that's a breakdown. Now we watch to see if we can get this reclaim of 50. And then these fellas under 50 become our support. Right? They become our support. Where's my dot? Let's see if we get it. Right here. We should get one right here. One more brick. One more brick. Someone's flashing for sale up top. They just wow, look at the book. They just threw 800 contracts at 890. They lowered the orders. They were at 900. Now they're offering lower. That's interesting. You can see here on Bookmap. And we did not, so far we failed to reclaim 850s. Let's see how we're trying here. We have a buyers trying to press here below. Very quiet here. So that's how we know something explosive is about to happen. Something explosive is in the works. Let's see if they can press. There we go. Look at the buying coming in. There we go. There we go. And then looking for my flip on Renko. Let's see if we get that flip on Renko. Still not there yet. Once we do, that would lock in this rotation as a higher low. There we go. Needs a little bit more. One more. Come on. There we go. Boom. So now we should see some acceleration. Now we should see some acceleration. Stop loss now is already pretty decently positioned under the higher low. Now, if I want to, I could literally just put my stop loss under that dot, and then it should just fly, hopefully, right? But I will use that 50 level since that was the failed breakdown level there. Hopefully, we just are unable to accept. I'm going to actually keep it underneath that trap trader right here. So these guys who try to sell, this was the opportunity for them to get that lower low, and they failed to do so, right? So this move up right here. That's where they failed. That's where I buy. I'm very curious to see if they're going to fill all these offers that we've got. Look at the Bookmap. 815 contracts. That's the biggest order they've placed in the book all session. So this is very important because this is the large footprint of the institutions, right? Let's take a look at the heat map really quick. Where is my heat map? Here we go. So let's read what it says here. It says price cleared 75.19s on the SPX, right? Got magnetized to the POC at 25. Now pitting tight between 24 and 25 cap. A 5-point box, pressure finally settled, volatility drained out. It's a POC pin, need 75.30 cleared or 75.20 lost to break, or else it grinds here. That's good. That's good. And then we can see the same structure happening across all of them, right? SPX, SPI, and QQQ. Same price structure. So 22s will be the next. We're actually right at the POC here for SPX. So if SPX starts breaking through POC, this is going to probably end up creating a massive upward momentum for the NQs, the QQQs. What time is it? Oh, we're only 24 minutes into this hour. We still got time. We still got time. Big buying coming in. That's very nice. I'm just waiting for this target to get hit right here. Maybe we get it done by 11:30. Wouldn't that be cool? Just get it done. Where's my entry? It's like way down here. Holy, that's not bad. Look at that entry. Not too shabby. Pretty cool, pretty wild, man. We caught quite a few good trades today. Pretty cool, man. We're making it happen. All right. I'm just waiting to see what happens when we get the 90s. Are they gonna pull these orders or keep these orders in the book? That would probably be where I would want to take my take profit, to be honest, once we get to that level. This would be probably an example of the dealer. This is probably a dealer position right here. They're dampening price. Yeah, we're approaching. Look at that. You can see on the book map, they're throwing some iceberg. There's an iceberg order here, right underneath 890s. So someone's already preemptively selling and positioning themselves. Price compressing at 75. We're back under 75. We just cracked. Buyers will need to step back in here and reclaim if this is going to juice higher. Otherwise, we may see a deeper pullback here. And this is happening as we approach the 11:30 close for London, right? So we're seeing this could be actually London close orders just closing out their orders. London traders, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Well, we have 1,000 contracts sitting at 900, right? We see double stack bid offers 500 at right here. 900's double stacked at our big round figure. Okay, we're reclaiming that 75 level. Look at the big selling here. They weren't able to contain it. Now we see more selling, not able to contain it. Now we see more cascade buying happening here. Look at the delta, just staying positive. 75, let's see what they're going to do to try it one more time to retest. Big seller again, just came in, absorbed instantly. Another seller coming in. Okay, now they're getting back under level. What happens here? Buyers are trying. They might be getting trapped here. Let's see. Look at that. Big buying, big buying, big buying. Watch the node here on the right side. This is our delta. Technically, these are areas of support. So if you see right here, there's a big cluster. 865s down to 55s. So 65 to 55 would be where I would expect buyers to defend. And then with resistance to 77, and that's what it's been, right? So we know that there's been a large selling that's occurred here at 77. Now, if we start breaking through 77, then we have more potential opportunity for support. So like a ladder above 80s. So if we start breaking above 80s, 80s become support. And then maybe we get that final expansion into the level. So we have 30 seconds left for London close. Let's watch what happens here as we hold for our final targets. They're pinning this level here, 15 seconds left. Sellers tried to reclaim 75. There's the sellers again. Back above, rejected. Let's see one more time. Sellers trying again. It's a battle. That market, that's that 30-minute closure here, London close. There we go. There you go. If you guys don't have Bookmap and you're interested in Bookmap, I got the hookup for Bookmap. So you let me know if you're interested in the Discord. You shoot me a DM. I'll tell you exactly how to get hooked up with the Bookmap. 75 holding. Look at that. I don't see the sellers anymore. Where'd they go? No more selling. Is this it? Sellers already tried like 3 times under the level. There we go. This could be it. Let's see. There's a seller one more time there. See a little bubble. Seller trying to sell above. They're trying to recover this 75 level. I don't know. Let's see. Hopefully this might be the last last seller to attempt 75. Let's go. Here we go. Hit the gas pedal, buyers. Now we're trading above 77. This is where we have that a cluster of sellers that might get trapped here, 77. So let's see what happens. There's buyers again, buyers again, buyers again. Back above again. I really feel like buying more. I feel like getting in and putting more contracts on, but I need to see something else here. I need to see this 75 level. I need them to start really accepting away from it. Now I'm watching the opening price of 1130 on my 1 minute chart. So if you're not watching the opening print is at what's that price? 73.50. 73.50. Okay, so we've gotten some closure underneath, back under 750. They could not stay above. So this could become a potential retracement. The buyers are going to try to defend and take it back up again. Let's see. The buyers just lost that battle above 75. So that's important. So let's see if they can still stay in the game here. Our Renko chart's not showing us much other than the fact that we're still testing our pullback. So buyers are still in control. It's just we're seeing on the smaller time frames here that there's definitely a battle above 75. What I would want for my Renko chart here is if we do pull back, it's fine. I just need it to snap back up immediately and reclaim the 50 moving average. I don't want to see it start getting too far away from the 50. I'd want to see a bar closure back above this green line and our gold moving average, which is our 50 moving average. So we're now testing 1 day min. Again, the support cluster down here. So this is where we see on Bookmap, there's the volume here where we should see buyer support. There we go. Looking at my Renko chart, we haven't closed back above 69s. Would want to see a brick or two above 69s. And it looks like we're trying to test again 75. Okay, we rejected again 75. Watching right here. So I'm paying attention to this area here. Now we have a lower high, which is good, because this could become our stop hunt right here. But they use that to buy into to create momentum. So that high 71. Okay. There we go. Can we accelerate through? I'm going to try adding a contract or two. And let's see if we can get a push through. They still haven't gotten through it, so I'll add more if we start expanding through it. No, rejecting again. Okay. I put 2 contracts more on just in case, but it looks like it's not giving it to us yet. More on too, if we do start cracking above. I got my buy stop ready in there. This will not mess up my average too much. I'll still be risk-free on the trade regardless, right? So that's cool. Okay, now we're breaking through. So we added some on that pullback. Would like for this to now become support, but I need price to get through this box and get back above 75 so we can hit 900. So now we watch the Bookmap, and look, this yellow line is what they call PO. It's a POC, right? So this is basically our point of control for the current session. So volume has been, it's migrated higher, right? So now it went from where it was to now 870s. So this is truly an important area of interest. So if we can start getting above our POC and accepting above POC, now we can expect this thing to move higher and take out those offers. Look, the offers that were there, we had 500 contracts that were here, or, oh no, they're still there. Never mind, they're still there. Yeah, so far, sellers are still like really kind of pressing the gas here under 75. So, but we're not seeing that aggression as of yet. So I'm just still, I'm in it. I'm just, my stop's at break even. So whatever happens here is fine. Watching that POC at 870. '60s. Okay, let's see. They're trying a third time now. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if they're going to finally be able to bust through. I'm going to add more on this break. So I'm back in now, full size, normal size. But I need to see this thing punch through 75. Otherwise, I may get tagged out break even on this last try. It's fine. It's fine. Where's those contracts? 90s. And that's what's putting this pressure on price, are those contracts overhead, right? That's what it is. So that 800 contract is creating hesitation. It's creating hesitation. I have a feeling they're going to pull. They're going to probably pull. What they just did is they lowered it, right? They lowered it from here to from 90s now to 88. So not much of a migration, but they did migrate lower. We're back again. Look at that. Immediate rejection again of 75. They got a closure and then a failure. Immediate. Well, actually, no, they didn't even close above the level. So this is where people. This is a tough situation here, right? But it's not tough because we understand like what's going on. We're paying attention. We're reading the order flow. We're reading the battle right now, real time. This is the part that matters, right? When it comes time to execute a trade and you're about to execute right here. This is the moment. Now let's see if we can really get back above 75. We have not accepted above 75, right? They've reclaimed it or reclaimed underneath it. So we had a breakdown and now we're trying to break back up. We have not gotten a break back up, but I'm anticipating an explosive move to fill those offers at 880s or 888s, 890s. There are some stop losses getting triggered here. That's good. So buy stops, but we're still back underneath again. Still back underneath again. There's a large clustering happening here. Now let's see if we can get through. Very thin. Look at the book, how thin it got. Like literally all the orders just disappeared. We got like 3 contracts, 2 contracts. The only thing that's here is up here. There's nothing here. So they've created a vacuum in price. They've pulled all the orders. Let's see now if we can get that in. It becomes our accelerant to get to our targets here. Here we go. All gone. All gone. Let's go. There's no reason why buyers can't pump through this. If they cannot get through this thin book, then that's a problem. That's a problem. We're now above 75. We've now moved away from 75. I'm going to go ahead and take my first contract here. Let's see if we can get, I'm waiting for that 888 level. Hopefully we can at least punch through it. Look at that. That is not good. That is not good. They should have been easily able to do that. But let's they're back above. Okay. I'll leave one on for IB high if we can get there. Two. I'm going to take two off at 900s. Oh, look, they pulled it. They pulled the offer. There we go. That's what you want, and now we should fly. We should fly. Here we go. Target one is about to get hit. Let's see if we can get back there. 890. I didn't get filled there on that target. I was off by a point. There we go. Boom. Target one hit. Next target is the 1800. What is that? 1300 contracts at 900s. Final target, IB high. Stops. Got to migrate them up really quick. Let's see if we get that push now to 900s. Hopefully they don't give us a snap back to 75 again. Gonna start trailing on the Renko. Let's put it onto our super trend and let this thing expand into 900s for that next target. And we can be good to go. Maybe I should take it one off already just in case. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we are fine. There's really nothing here. 895 might be a little bit of something here, but let's see. 20 contracts at 95. Can we get to that level? Wow, look how thin that book is. There's a bid now, 40 at 880s down below. They literally removed everything in there. Now we just have these two layers right here. Boom, next target hit. They pulled those orders. That's good. More momentum. That when they cancel the orders, they pull the offer. The price should be able to just trade through it. There's 900. Let's see if we get to 900. Come on, hit that target. Hit it. Boom, baby. Let's go. Now this is the test. Is this the real offer? Because they kept it in there. They didn't cancel. They didn't pull the order here. They pulled the 800. They pulled the other 500, and now they have the last 500 contracts standing. So this is where you watch to see if they pull the book at 900s. Once they pull that, this thing should hit. Should get back to high day. We might get a pullback to 880s. There's finally a bid here. Ooh, nice. Let's go. Oh, look, they stacked it at 910 now. They took some contracts, 400 contracts at 910. And 500 at 920s. They're beginning to try to advertise higher. Let's go. So 920s now becomes, that's basically our IB high. Our IB high I have is at 930.50, so makes sense. I wasn't expecting to add more contracts into the initial position of the last runner I had, but I mean, it was just too obvious, right? So why not? But I'm going to wrap it up here for the live stream, 11:45. Hope you guys got some value here today. If you got some value, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, join the free Discord, and we'll be back tomorrow. All right. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great rest of your session.